Basically, the courses I'm teaching are up-to-date research and practices, and very often the research is developed so quickly that your training may have been 10 years ago, and so much has changed in the last 10 years in terms of what there is to offer in these programs. In my course, it really looks at how to use the most up-to-date practices based on good research into investigative practices. The two courses that I've developed go hand in hand in terms of strengthening your ability to not only interview people, but also to look at what they say to you and evaluate it properly. The courses are both certificate courses, and those courses are recognized nationally in Canada by a couple of agencies. The purpose of the course is to provide you with tools so that you can practice your investigative skills much more effectively. Probably the most effective developments in the area of interviewing itself has to do with how to interview witnesses. There's been a dramatic shift in investigative practices in the last 25 years, where the focus used to be on suspect-oriented interviewing, which was confrontational, to witness-oriented interviewing, where you are trying to collect as much information from a person who has been in an event, either a victim, witness, or an informant, and be able to interview that person effectively without contaminating the information you're getting, and being able to draw out as much information as possible. So I would say that cognitive interviewing is one very effective tool that has evolved only in the last 20 years and has become a standard practice that many people still haven't learned. And yet it's extremely useful for investigating any kind of an event. And that's one of the areas that we cover in these courses. Over the last 25 years, probably the most significant factor that has influenced a change in the way investigative interviewing is done is technology. The audio-visual mechanism basically brought investigative interviewing out of the closet into judicial proceedings. It gave people in the social psychology field the ability to research current practices and provide really positive, constructive feedback on how to develop better methods of interviewing. With that change in the model going from suspect-oriented confrontational interviewing, which they recognized through research and development was not really that effective, to witness-oriented interviewing, they found in fact that they were actually getting more information by being cooperative in the interview process with a suspect than by being confrontational. The confrontational process was based on interrogation, which was the sort of final step that you move toward, to just simply cooperatively interviewing as a witness model. The British were the people who developed the model called the peace model, and it is beginning to filter through law enforcement and regulatory agencies in North America as well now. It's the kinder, gentler approach, and in fact is more effective. It is also highly evolved in terms of skill models that you can adapt and use. So it's much more complex and useful than a confrontational approach.